Good afternoon. My name is Alifa Nur Sabrina. Today I would like to explain from the video that I had watched. This video challenge shows us that English is spoken differently around the world, especially when we look at American, British, and Australian accents. For example, when saying words like water, both Americans and Australians change the T sound into a soft D sound, but they still have different vowel sounds. A big reason for this is that Americans move their mouth a lot when they talk, while Australians speak from the back of their throat and barely move their mouths at all. When we compare British and American English, we can see differences in both pronunciation and the words they choose. For instance, Americans say the word apartment clearly, but British people often use the word unit instead. They also pronounce the word zebra differently, with Americans saying zebra and British speakers saying zebra. In my opinion, the American accent is the easiest to follow. This happens because American English is very common in global media like movies and music, and Americans usually pronounce every vowel sound very clearly. On the other hand, the Australian accent can be much more difficult for non-native speakers because Australians have a strong habit of shortening their words and speaking very quickly. The video serves as a reminder that English is not monolithic. Insights gained include first, regional diversity. Even within one country, accents vary significantly, such as the difference between Northern and Southern British English or the Boston versus Standard American accent. Second, cultural influence. Accents are heavily influenced by the history and geography of a region, like the Irish influence mentioned on American East Coast accent. And the last one is communication is key. The video emphasized that while accents differ, the primary goal is mutual understanding. Being exposed to this variation makes one a more adaptable communicator in a globalized world as it helps in navigating different cultural norms and speaking styles. This accent challenge shows that English is not the same everywhere. Every English-speaking country has its own special way of speaking, unique words, and cultural history. While some accents are easier to understand because we hear them a lot in movies, others can be harder because people speak fast or shorten their words. In the end, there is no single correct way to speak English. Learning about different accents helps us become better listeners and smarter communicators. The most important goal of language is not to sound perfect, but to understand each other. So that's all my explanation. Thank you so much.